In, and I'm about to show you how I polish my touchscreen phone using the kit that I sell on eBay. This is a phone I'm going to use. It's my work phone, which really does take a battering. As you can see, this is what it's like all the way down. I've polished this section here just to show you what can be achieved. I'm going to polish it along the edge and then work my way across. Whenever you're doing any polishing, I would always recommend work from the edge and work your way across. Don't try and do the whole thing at once, you'll miss bits and the dip. If you were doing a single scratch, once again, work from one end and work your way along the scratch. Okay, I would recommend that before you start, get some insulating tape and just seal around the edges and over the buttons just to keep the water out. I've used insulating tape. It's much easier to peel off afterwards. Use masking tape. When it gets wet, if you let it dry out, it is a nightmare to get off. I'm not going to use any tape, just to show you how robust the phone is. I have polished it a few times now, and I've never masked it up, and it still seems to work, as you can see there. Just to prove it is a touchscreen phone. There you go. Okay, the first stage is to start with the coarse powder. Here's some I've mixed up earlier. I don't know if you can see the consistency of that. It doesn't need to be too thick, you don't want a thick paste. These granules work much better if they've got room to move, so mix it with water. To start with, just dab a bit of water on the area you're going to work with, and then just literally just gently tease backwards and forwards along the line that you want to do, just gradually teasing out the scratches. I've only done that for a few seconds just to show you how far we've got so far. And you'll see there we are starting to take the scratches out already. Continue a bit more. When you use these mops, you can use them as a wheel, like that. I prefer to use it just on the edge, so that you're getting this section like that. Be very careful, this metal bit must not get onto the glass. Be very careful, because this metal bit must not get onto the glass, otherwise it will scratch it worse. Scratch it worse? Make it worse. I think you can cut that now. Okay, now I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 minutes, and as you can see the difference already. The coarse grade scratches the surface of the glass, so you've actually got scratches similar to the ones you already had, but they're much more even and much easier to take out. The deeper scratches appear to have gone, but I'm just going to show you now. It's not quite ready. I should have done a bit more. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to move on to the next grade, which is medium, which will remove the scratches I've just done, but it will reveal underneath the scratches that you haven't quite taken out. The blurring effect of the coarse makes it look like you've got the main scratches out, but they can still be there underneath. So we'll give it a go with the medium just to show you what I mean. dab of water. Okay. Actually, yeah, that's coming along nicely, and there are just one or two slightly deeper scratches. I'm not sure if you can pick them up with the camera, but there are one or two slightly deeper scratches, and I should go back to the coarse and then take those out and come back to the medium again. Okay, as you can see, I've done it with the medium polish now, and you can see the difference there. We've taken all the scratches out. It's left it blurred, but it's much more even blurring, which will be easier to polish out with the next stage. We're going to go on to the fine now, followed by the polishing. Okay, now we're going to move on to the fine grain, just to take out what's been left by the medium. Right, turn it on, dab of water, pick up some granules, and away we go again. When you're doing this, make sure you don't press hard. Just let the granules and the mop do the work. I'm using this on 5,000 revs, nice and slow for the Dremel. The slower the better, because it retains the water, retains the granules. If you do it fast, they'll just all shoot off. Okay, we're now going to go on to the final polishing stage. What I need to tell you before we go that far, in doing what we're doing here, we're actually taking the top layer of glass off, and with this thin Gorilla Glass, there is a very fine layer on the top which is a scratch resistant layer, but it hasn't really worked anyway, and we're taking that off. So at this point, the bits we've polished are very easy to scratch, and that's why I use cotton wool, dip in water to wash it, and a dry piece of cotton wool to dry it off. It's nice and soft, it's not going to scratch. You use kitchen roll, which I use for general cleaning. Even the coarseness of the kitchen roll can put a scratch back in. So this is, once we get to this stage, you need to be careful. After we've polished it, you must put a screen protector on. There's some good products out there. Cheap thin ones, not so good. Nice hefty screen protector once we're finished. Okay, so we're going to polish this now. Usual dab of water. Always keep it nice and wet. Nice and gentle with the mop, no pressure at all. And particularly with this polish, you must keep it wet. Right, let's see how we get on there. Add a bit of water. Yeah, look at that. Oops. Right, it needs a little bit more polishing, but we're nearly there.
This polish, it does need a little bit of pressure on the knot.
Alright, we're back again. Right, I've been polishing this now for about 5 minutes. And I think you will see that that is not a bad result. Let's just clean it up. Now, I use cotton wool buds to do all the cleaning. A fresh bud each time, dip it in the water just to wash the surface off. Then use a dry side and a dry cotton wool buds. I don't know if you can see that, let's tilt it up. Okay, there are a few light scratches there as I turn to the light. It does need a bit more polishing, which I'm going to do in a minute, but you can hopefully, tell me when, you can hopefully see the difference there. What we've got, and although in actual real terms that's taken me about 3 hours because we're filming, in polishing time from start to finish I've spent about 15 minutes on that so far, actual polishing time. So it's not, you know, if you had a single scratch in there, you're going to be doing it in minutes. I'm going to continue now just to take those fine scratches I can just see out there, but she's almost done. I will do it and then you can see what the end result there. But it is important to get that screen cover on. Okay, I've just spent about 10 minutes now or so polishing that again. Now we've got to this stage, if we tilt it to the light, we can actually see some marks there that I've left from either the coarse or the medium grain, but it doesn't show up until you've polished it and tilted it to the light, and there it is. And this is where you make a decision. Do you go back and take them out, or are you happy to live with them? I'm going to go back and take them out, which means going back a couple of stages. And on eBay, this is the point where people say, oh, it doesn't work, the scratches are still there, I want my money back. Well, I'm afraid you're not going to get your money back, because all you've got to do is go back a stage or two, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go back to the fine grade, just to take those scratches out, and then we return to the polishing. I'm going to do that off camera, because you don't want to sit me watching me going backwards and forwards, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, as you can see, I've spent a total of about half an hour on that section there, and I think that's as good as it gets. If I tilt it to the light, there are still one or two light blemishes, and it just means going back and polishing a bit more. To me, that is perfect. There's no problem at all with that. Put a screensaver on there, and you shouldn't have the same problem again. Unfortunately, I don't follow my own advice, and it will be scratched again. There you go. Okay, that's it. But this will now scratch quite easily, so you must get that screen protector on there. Thanks for looking. Okay, and just to show you, I'm just going to turn the phone on. Oh, hang on, unlock it. And there you go. I mean, can you see that? It's much better and usable. Okay, thanks for looking. What I should do now, off camera, I'll polish the rest of it, and then we'll show you at the end the finished product, but you don't want to sit and watch me doing all of this. Thank you very much for looking. You'll find my kits on eBay. this particular kit, and for washes and various other bits really, but you'll find it on Ian's Polishing Kits on eBay. Thank you very much for looking.